And we're live. Welcome everyone to another episode of FPL Focal. Hope you're all doing well. Uh, Teddy's joined this one. He's on my shoulders. So yeah, welcome Teddy to the stream. Yeah, it feels like forever since the last stream. I guess it was the post Gameweek 23 stream. No, it must have been the deadline stream. I didn't even do a post Gameweek 23 stream actually. Wasn't feeling very well. At the start of this week, so that's why I've been a bit off the radar. So I've got a COVID test tomorrow actually, just to make sure I don't actually have it. But I'm feeling a lot better now, just in time for the double game week season. So I hope you're all well. Adam, new countdown screen, not too shabby. Yeah, you gotta keep up, mate. We've got a new countdown screen. So the way I've done it actually is I've basically incorporated every thumbnail into the intro. So every stream's gonna have a different intro, which I think is really cool. You know, every stream's gonna have a unique intro and a unique ending. So yeah, really chuffed with that. Been busy working on that. So that's the new template for the thumbnails and the intro. Ollie says the graphics get better each stream. I swear, they do, mate. They do. Speaking of, you might have noticed the layout here for my team has also changed. So that's also a new change for the stream. This is the live FPL website, and because of my background in IT, I've basically there's this browser add-on that lets you mess around with the layout of websites. So that's what I've been doing this week. So yeah, much better look to how it was before. In fact, I can show you how it was before. So this is before, which is fine. You know, it is what it is. But this is after. So that's the new look now for when my team's on screen, and likewise when I'm looking at any of your teams on screen, doing the rate my teams or transfer plans and all that. I missed Kitty's message. Good, I've got 2 minutes to visit the throne. Did you make it there and back in time? Hopefully you did. No messages since. I hope you made it. Welcome back if you are back from your trip to the throne. Nevis, yo, I was just about to relax and watch a movie and then saw you were going live. You can still watch the movie, mate. You don't have to tune into this. I mean, we'll probably do 45 minutes to an hour, so it'd be the equivalent of a short movie. Quacky says the graphics are so clean. Thank you, Quacky. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Yeah, a lot of work's gone into getting the stream to where it is now, especially when you compare it to how it was only like a couple of months ago. You know, I started streaming 3 months ago, so the whole theme's come a long way since then. And yeah, I think it's paying its dividends so far. Appreciate everyone that has tuned in so far. Adam, Kitty, aka Matt, Ollie, Nevis, Quacky, Flisk. Flisk says, let's rant right away. So unlucky with DCL. Yeah, so unlucky. My brother actually brought in DCL the day before their game. He was telling me about it, and I said I probably wouldn't do it, even though he's going up, and I forget who he was selling, but the guy he was selling was going down. And I said I probably wouldn't do it just in case there's an injury, because you've got half your team still to play in the FA Cup. But he didn't listen to me. He made his transfer, and lo and behold, he cursed DCL for the rest of us. So yeah, really annoying the DCL injury. I don't think he's going to make the double game week. Ben Dinnery, he basically said it's highly unlikely he makes the double game week, so not great. The other thing I forgot to mention is I've ordered a new microphone, so that's something that's going to be new to the stream soon, whenever that arrives. Everything's just taken forever to deliver in the UK at the moment, so it wasn't off Amazon. Normally I use Prime, but it was from like eBay or something, and it was like 5 working days. So hopefully soon I'll have a better quality mic as well, because this is an old gaming headset that I'm wearing. FPL Key, much cleaner, good work. Appreciate that, mate. Adam, I'm so confused with this next double game week. I don't know anymore. It is, yeah. I mean, it's difficult to keep up with all the doubles because we've got a double game week 24, 25, 26 is the big one. But there's still every chance of having more in 26, 27, and then you've got the blank in 29. It's hard to keep up. But we will cover that in the stream. We'll cover all of the doubles, the likely doubles in 26, and the blanks in 29. Anyone that used their free hit already obviously needs to pay attention to the blanks in 29, because that's going to be when everyone else with the free hit is likely to use the chip. And it doesn't look too difficult to navigate, blank Gameweek29. Gary, how we doing, mate? Ben says, good stuff. Kwaku, I brought DCL in as he got injured. Luckily, next week I'll welcome him out. Yeah, so if you're planning to wildcard in 25 or 26, then at least you've got the chip in your pocket to reverse back out of what you've done, shooting yourself in the foot there. But yeah, the DCL injury is so unfortunate because he was one of the captain standouts. 2 home fixtures. Obviously, one of them was Man City, but still, you would have fancied him to do well in the double. And now it looks like there's a chance we won't see him at all. Haven't pulled his hamstring. Ollie brought in me for Chilwell. Wish I waited because could have done it for Justin. Oh, did you make that transfer this week? Yeah, again, the FA Cup's been a nightmare this week. I'll cover some of the injuries in the roundup in a moment, but yeah, a lot of players, with high ownership have picked up injuries. So a bit of a disaster that. And it's put a bit of a down on the double game week. I mean, look at my team. I've got 3 players yellow flagged, 2 of which have a double game week 24. Hope everyone's well anyway. Appreciate everyone that has tuned in. 18 here already, good turnout. I'm feeling a bit rusty tonight. It's been a while since the last stream. Nevis, my mini league rival has Sterling, and I have no City midfielders this week, so breaking it. Is there no way you can squeeze in Gundogan, or are you already tripled up on City? FA Cup massacre, Adam says. Yeah, let's. You're dead right. Let's go into the news roundup and discuss exactly why the FA Cup's been a massacre. We'll start off with some non-FA Cup news. So Arsenal first. Bernd Leno and David Luiz return after suspension. I wanted to push that game to the back of my memory, that Wolves game where they both got red cards, but I suppose I have to cover it in the news. So they are back. Also Partey's out, and also Tierney's recovering, but he's also out. So Arsenal still missing a couple of key defensive players there, and they play Leeds, so it could be a good fixture for the likes of Bamford owners, which I think is many, with double game week 25 on the horizon. Another player injured. Callum Wilson tweeted earlier, disappointed that I'm going to have to miss the next few months due to this hamstring. Just another bump along the road that will come back fitter and stronger from. So yeah, that was who it was. My brother sold Wilson for DCL. I shouldn't laugh, but yeah, that's what he did. The day before DCL picked up his injury. So yeah, regarding DCL, Duncan Ferguson said, looks like he might have tweaked his hamstring. We're not quite sure. Could be a wee bit of trouble for him. And Ben Dinnery's opinion is there was a scan scheduled for this afternoon, that was today, to determine the extent of the problem. And Ben says, safe to say that it's highly unlikely that Ben will feature in the double game week. Absolute despair. Hence the title of this video, Double Game Week Despair. The despair's not over. So Justin picked up an injury as well. And Roger said he heard something in his knee when he landed. On first look with the medical team, there's nothing major. So hopefully Justin's alright, but he did go off. I think he was stretchered off. I wasn't watching the game, but never good when a player's stretchered off. Right, more despair. I'm not over with the despair yet. Pep says Ruben has a fever, or had a fever. He still has some problems with the stomach. That's why he couldn't train yesterday. So yeah, as Pep says, he wasn't in training yesterday, and who knows, maybe he'll miss the double game week as well. I really hope not, because I've got him. Some more positive news. Pep on Edison was saying he has to save the goals, and after that we'll see what happens. Now Aguero is out and Kevin is not here. It is an option. In terms of Edison taking penalties, and then he finishes it by saying, of course it is. And he says the penalty taker has to have personality. I'd love to know what you guys think of that. Can you imagine a goalkeeper on penalties? I'm trying to think if it's ever happened. I can't remember it ever happening in the Premier League. I think there's some some smaller leagues. I think there was like a goalkeeper in the Brazilian league or something, and he was on penalties, so he had like an outstanding goal scoring record over his career. But can you imagine Ederson, the next the next penalty City gets, and you see Ederson just jogging up the pitch to take it? I wonder if that's ever happened in the entire Premier League era. A goalkeeper scoring a penalty or even taking one. Imagine a keeper scoring a penalty and keeping a clean sheet. Madness. Or what about scoring a penalty and saving a penalty? Anyway, Gary says, got DCL and Zaha to transfer out, still not sure who to get. So DCL and Zaha out. Well, I mean, one of the players you could look at is Bamford if you don't already have him. Bamford's got the double game week in 25. It does also depend on your chip strategy, Gary. If you're planning to wildcard in 25, then you can afford to take a punt on a player this week, right? You know, you could do something crazy like DCL to Barnes up top, you know, something like that. Or likewise, if you're going to wildcard in 26, then it's still a short-term punt. But Bamford's one of the standouts, I think, because he's got the double game week in 25. Some other differentials, I think Danny Ings is flying under the radar. Scored earlier in the FA Cup. So Southampton have knocked Wolves out of the FA Cup. Potentially Adams as well, Che Adams. I mean, they're both out of form really, but Ings did score a goal tonight, scored it well. So speaking of the FA Cup, so Chelsea knocked Barnsley out literally just before we went live, which is good news for the double game week because that means that Chelsea's fixture against Liverpool, which was going to be in 29, almost certainly moves into 26 now. So Liverpool and Chelsea among those to have a double game week in 26. So they didn't, and I was going to probably sell Salah, but I think Salah has to stay in my double game week team now, and maybe someone like Trent comes in as well. Don't know if you guys know ex-West Ham United employee on Twitter, but he basically posts leaks on West Ham. And just a quick summary on West Ham. He said Balbuena, Diop, Antonio and Bowen are all expected to be in line to play against Sheffield United. That's the important takeaway from this. So good news for any Antonio owners. He's likely to be fine for the Sheffield game. He is still yellow flagged, but that's the leak. So I assume after the conference, I think it must be tomorrow or the day after, his flag will disappear. So that's good news. He missed the midweek FA Cup game against Man United, but Antonio should be fine for that fixture against Sheffield. Good fixture. Glad to have him playing in my team. Sorry, I'm really behind on chat, and sorry if I miss any messages. Where did I get to? So Nevis, you got the triple City defense. Thought about a -4 to get Salah and Stones out. Nah, it doesn't seem worth it. I agree. And you never know. I mean, the triple City defense in a way, it's a differential in itself against the anyone that's got Sterling. Sterling's a good differential too, but you know, if they keep a clean sheet, then you're gaining points on the guy in your league with Sterling. I think you said it was. Ben brought Barnes in and he's done nothing. Think I might as well upgrade him to Gundogan. Oh, that's Leicester's Barnes. Yeah, Gundogan's a good move. So he's got the double game week, of course. I've actually got the armband on him as well at the moment. I think he's probably the standout for the double. I think it's going to be a really underwhelming double game week. Double game weeks are obviously really hyped up, but I think this isn't the one to be hyped about. City, great, they've got the double, but I feel like we're going to be so underwhelmed, or maybe just whelmed, after double game week 24 is over. Because it's just 2 teams that have a double. Sorry, 4 teams that have a double. So it's not like a massive one. And there's not really standout picks for captaincy. You know, like some fixtures early in the season, the likes of Salah, you know. It's an exciting captaincy for a double game week, but Gundogan, I'm not feeling it so much. Dylan says, hi mate, that was nervy watching the Chelsea game as a Chelsea fan. Yeah, I was watching the second half. Abraham scored, right? Just about scraped through, but yeah, Barnes did well, first half especially. But as an Arsenal fan, not so delighted about Chelsea going through, but as an FPL fan, it's good news because, like I say, Liverpool and Chelsea, very, very likely now to have a double game week 26. So there's a lot of options that emerge there. The likes of Salah, maybe a Liverpool defender like Trent, Robbo, maybe Mendy, or a Chelsea defender. You know, Rudiger could be a good enabler. The Flisk says the bald fraud would never allow it. So this is Edison taking penalties. You don't think he would allow it? I suppose the risk is, what if it's saved or he clatters it off the bar or the post, right? Then he's got a long sprint back to his goal. And if he's not quick enough, you know, they'll probably concede. But I would love it. From an FPL perspective, it would be amazing. Now there's more penalties than ever. It's a record-breaking season for penalties, so if we saw Edison on penalties, it'd be straight in my team. Straight in my wildcard team. That was it. Gary's got it. I don't know how you say his surname, but Cieni in Brazil. Goalkeeper who took penalties for his side, so he had a really solid goal scoring record over his career, despite being a keeper. The D Production, how are we doing? He says, do you think that Vardy is a good replacement for Antonio from Game Week 25? Also, do you have any advice when to use the wildcard? Maybe somewhere around the blank game week. So, the best time to use the wildcard, one of the most logical times to use it is in 25 or 26. Because game week 26 is going to be the biggest double game week of the season. So therefore, if you wildcard right into the game week or just before it, then you're fully prepared for it. You can't really be any more prepared for it if you're wildcarding like that. So that's the most logical time to use it, and I think a lot of people will. But it is very team dependent, you know. If your team's in good shape, then you might get away with not using your wildcard. What was the other question on Vardy? Leicester. I forget if Leicester have a double game week now. Let's have a look at the double game week ticker. Where is it? Here it is. Sorry for the long transition. That's something I'm trying to minimize as well, the long transitions, but you have to bear with me. I have like 50 tabs open for these streams, so I try and jump around as seamlessly as I can. So Leicester, where are they on here? Leicester, there they are. So, and my question was 25 onwards. Yeah, definitely. So they've got Villa in 25, and then they've got almost certainly a double game week 26, and then they've got Brighton 27, Sheffield 28. Yeah, so I think Vardy's a very strong pick, and I imagine he's going to be a massive differential. Bill L, how we doing, mate? Hope you're well. Hope you had a good week. Stuart says goalkeeper goal should be worth 15 points or something ridiculous, given how rare it is. That would be amazing. But the problem is, no teams ever bother with it, so it'd just be game breaking for that one team that has a keeper that does take them, right? But certainly they should be worth more than strikers, for example, which I believe they are. That's how they do it for midfielders and defenders. You get extra for goals you score. Erna asks Cavani or Ings. Sorry, I probably butchered your name there. Cavani or Ings? If I had to pick one, I'd say Ings. Ings has got the double game week 25, probably double game week 26. Whereas Cavani, you know, he's a really good option as well, but can he be trusted to play multiple games in quick succession? And the other question, Sterling or Gundo? I prefer Gundo. In fact, I wondered if I was going to be asked this question, so I have put together a comparison between Gundogan and Sterling. So this is from game week 13 to 23, so the last 10 game weeks. And when you compare the two, starting with their price first of all, Gundogan's almost half the price of Sterling. But when you look at the actual underlying data, so expected points, expected goals, big chances, shots in the box, they're almost the same. Shots on target, Gundogan's actually taking more. Likewise for shots. Sterling's taking more touches in the box, which is what you'd expect. More final third passes for Gundogan. You know, so he's great for bonus in terms of number of passes he's making and chances he's creating. The only areas really that Sterling comes out on top is expected assists, big chances created and touches in the box. So my preference is Gundogan between the two for that reason. They're fairly even in terms of the stats, so therefore you'd pick the cheaper player. And of course Gundogan's on penalties as well, so he's got that going for him too. Well, at least let's hope he's on penalties after the miss against Liverpool. The deproduction. Do you think that Grealish could be upgraded from Maddison in the future? Both of them have nice fixtures, I guess. I would go the opposite way. I would be selling Maddison to bring in Grealish. Grealish is absolutely going to be coming into my team if I wildcard. He may even come in regardless, because Villa have got, I think, 2 games postponed that need to be rearranged. If I remembered that right. Where are they? There we go. So these are the postponed fixtures yet to be rearranged. So this is ignoring everything we just looked at regarding Gameweek 26, double Gameweek 26. These are above and beyond that. So Aston Villa have got another 2 fixtures that need to be rearranged. So they're guaranteed at least 3 double game weeks. One of them we already almost certainly know, which is Gameweek 26. But above and beyond that, Villa are going to have another 2 double game weeks. So I think tripling up on Villa is the way to go. Potentially Watkins, Grealish, and then someone in defence like Martinez or Target. And you notice here as well, Spurs have got 2 games to be rearranged as well, both of them away. So Spurs definitely a team to have in your thinking, and I think you need to have at least one of them. They're very likely to have excellent double game week fixtures in 26 as well, so that's something to target. Thanks everyone that has tuned in so far. Don't forget to like the video while you're here, and sub to the channel if you're not. Bilal, Penguin, Kwaku, Nevis, Stuart, appreciate you being here. Didn't see you sneaking, Penguin. How are you doing, mate? He says, hey mate, thoughts on Richarlison as a good DCL replacement for the double? I think he's a risky punt. I don't think he's scored since about game week 13, is it? Let me just check if that's right. I mean, he's not really in form. If it's a 1 week punt and then you wildcard him, then fine, but the last time he scored, yeah, it was game week 13, so he's basically not scored for 10 game weeks. So I don't think he's the best option, but you know, if it's literally a 1 week punt, then sure, why not? But if he's you know, a long-term pick, then I don't think so. But I've said on recent streams, now is the time to take a punt if you are planning to wildcard before game week 26, because if it goes wrong, you're going to reverse straight back out of it. Whereas, you know, if it goes right, then great, you've capitalized on an opportunity and you move up the ranks. Stuart asked triple captain's son in game week 26. Yeah, I haven't really talked much about triple captaincy. I suppose that's my unbiased thinking because I used the chip already. But yeah, if we go back to the double game week ticker here, this is of course from Ben Krellin. I think many of you know now. Gets mentioned a lot around here in these parts. But if we look at Tottenham, so their double game week fixtures are going to be Burnley at home, and then either Fulham away or Southampton at home. So 2 outstanding fixtures, really strong fixtures, and definitely a triple captain option, Stuart, to answer your question. And Son's one of those players who you'd fancy to start both, likewise with Kane. So he's pretty reliable in that sense. I like Kane even more as a triple captain option for double game week 26, but yeah, Son's definitely a great option as well. And as I mentioned, Spurs have got 2 further games above and beyond that need to be rearranged, so they could potentially have it in 27 and 28 as well. And if we look here, so this is game week 29, you can see all of the red here. So the reds are basically blanks, so the teams with red there aren't going to be playing at all. And these are the confirmed fixtures for game week 29 and also the blanks for game week 29. Sorry, I did it again, long transition. So, this is important for those of you that used your free hit early in the season. I think it was game week 18 was a blank, and then we had double game week 19. So, I know a lot of people used the free hit in 18. So, one important thing to consider is when the next blank is, because there is going to be more blanks, and it's going to be game week 29. So, a while away yet, but you can see here there's going to be 12 teams that blank. There's going to be 6 teams that are confirmed to play in 29. And then Aston Villa versus Tottenham is expected to also fall into game week 29, but it's not actually been announced yet. So this is important to have at the back of your mind, you know, as we move forward with the season. If you have used your free hit already, that is, because you're gonna want to cover yourself, especially with some of the key players to own here, like Villa assets and Spurs assets. Anyone that's free hitting in blank Gameweek 29 is going to obviously be bringing in the likes of Son and Kane. I did just copy the URL there, so if you wanted that, there you go. Is there anything else here I can copy in chat? This is Ben Krellin's fixtures as well there. So a quick update on the Kings of the Game Week following Gameweek 23. I didn't do a reaction stream as I mentioned earlier, so I've not actually got to this yet. But at long last, the streak of defenders has ended in the Kings of the Game Week. So stretching all the way from Gameweek 15 to 22, we had a defender in the Kings of the Game Week, so the highest score in that game week. But Foden finally broke that streak of all players against Liverpool of all fixtures. And we're still yet to see a repeat name in the Kings of the Game Week. I have a feeling it's going to be in these coming game weeks that we finally see a repeat, because there's some names that stand out here that have come in double game weeks, like Bamford, Son, Salah, Bruno. I feel like it's a matter of time until we see a repeat, but I wonder how far we will make it. And I wonder what the furthest is that we've ever gone without a repeat. The Flisk says, luckily Southampton won tonight, so Aston Villa and Tottenham most likely to be in blank game week 29 now. So navigating through it is much easier. Yeah, you're dead right. So, like I said, anyone that's used their free hits can have a sigh of relief that it's going to be a lot easier to navigate blank game week 29 with Spurs and Villa among those that will play that game week. The D says, you're really doing amazing analysis, maybe even the best on YouTube. You're really someone who helps a lot. I'm happy to find you, and I hope you make these streams regularly each week. Oh, that's nice. You're bringing a tear to my eye. You're gonna make me cry, mate. That's really nice of you. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm quite new to doing YouTube, so I've only been doing it for a few months now. So we're on 288 subs, growing steadily. Absolutely boiling in here though, so I'm just going to open the window. Ah, that's better. Oops, spinning the green screen round. You spoke too soon on the amazing work. Sneak peek of my bedroom there. No, that's really nice of you to say, thank you. Adam says, still going to be benched. Who's that? Stuart says, me to be the first repeat. Oh, was me in there? I actually hadn't noticed that. I hope he is. As a me owner, I'd love for me to be the first repeat in the Kings of the Game Week this season. I'd absolutely take that. Now, I've got something interesting to show you guys in terms of captaincy. So, right now, when we're talking about captaincies, everyone's talking about the teams that double. So Gundogan, Diaz, Stones, DCL. If he hadn't picked up that injury, he would have been well in the discussion. But something I wanted to show you first is the offensive stats for the last 4 game weeks. Let me just make that a bit smaller. There we go. This is courtesy of FPL updates and tips on Twitter. I almost call them tits again. This is the offensive stats for the last 4 game weeks. So you notice here that United are top goals scored, expected goals scored, shots on target, and big chances. So they're far and away the most attacking team at the moment. Well, not far and away, but they're certainly picking up the highest numbers. And they play West Brom in game week 24. So are we overlooking single game week players, the likes of Bruno? Are we missing a trick? There's the allure of the double game weeks, but sometimes you can have your blinkers on when the double game weeks roll around, and you end up missing perhaps a more obvious pick like Bruno, because I do think Bruno's an outstanding option for single game week 24 for him. So it's a tough one. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Bruno ends up being the highest scoring player or outscores the double game week players. And it's hard to say as well, especially with City, if the players you pick are going to play twice. Diaz not spotted in training, so Diaz could end up being one of those that only plays one game. Gundogan could come off early. We've seen him subbed early. Anyway, who are you guys planning to captain for Double Game Week 24? I haven't put the captain poll up yet on the Discord, but I absolutely will. Probably tomorrow. I've been putting it off because I don't know what the situation with DCL is yet. I wouldn't want to put, or leave DCL out and he's fine, and likewise I wouldn't want to put him in if he's actually injured, because that could actually throw off a few people who use our Discord less frequently. They might see him there and think, oh, DCL, yeah, definitely. So Ollie says my choice is between Gundo and Bruno. Yeah, same. So I think it's going to be Gundo or Bruno. I mean, I was strongly considering me, but is it really that desperate that I'm going to be captaining me? Should I go Stones? Stones will go down in history if he ends up putting up a haul in the double game week again. I have put together an early wildcard draft for potentially next game week, or if not game week 26, which I'll show you guys shortly. It's obviously we still haven't had the double game week 26 fixtures yet, but yeah, it's an early wildcard draft basically. If I do decide to use it, again, I've not even decided if I'm going to wildcard. I've got so much to think about. I look at my team and I think, can I actually just get away with navigating the double without using it? I could do DCL to Bamford for double game week 25 when Leeds double, and then I'm in pretty good stead for double game week 26. So I just wonder if I even need to use it. Man United don't have the best double, so I could move Rashford onto someone like Grealish. It's really a tough one. I need to spend more time thinking about it, but my plan for double game week 24 is to roll the transfer, so I'll have 2 for 25, and then I'll act accordingly. Carl says Sterling. Oh yeah, Sterling. I completely forgot about Sterling. Again, this is my bias when I look at my own team. I've noticed I've started doing this when I make the thumbnails. Previously I was just only including players that are in my team, so I'm conscious now trying to include other players like Kane, who surprised us all coming back last game week when he was supposed to be out injured, and out of nowhere with no news, Kane started and scored in game week 23. So I've included him in the thumbnail, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but I noticed they happen to have yellow kits, both Spurs and Everton away, so it went really nicely with the the yellow theme on the thumbnail, which I'm trying to rotate each week, different colour. Anyway, I'm rambling. Dylan, wildcard in 25. Mendy, Sanchez, is that Bryson Sanchez? Diaz, Cancelo, Dallas, Target, Justin, Bruno, Rafinha, Anguissa, KDB, Son, Bamford, Watkins, Kane. 9 blank players, but no DCL. So Justin looks like he's probably out injured. That's something we talked about at the top of the show. He went off injured in the FA Cup, stretchered off with a knee injury. Hopefully it's not too severe, but I'd keep an eye on that first, because if he does have a severe injury, then he's absolutely a no-go for a wildcard. Likewise KDB, I think it's way too soon to be getting KDB. There's a chance he's fine by 26, but it's hard to say, and you're saying you're going to use it in 25, so what are the odds that KDB comes back, and plays the full game or a good chunk of it? He could come back and just get subbed on just to, get him back into full fitness, match sharpness and all that. So I probably wouldn't get KDB or Justin. The rest looks good though, for a 25, because you've got Rafinha, Dallas, Bamford. You've got a few players there that are playing double Gameweek 25 as well, so it's a decent team. I'll just look at Justin and KDB. I like the rest though. Some good picks there. Anguissa, I don't know how much you'll get from him. I don't think Anguissa's played that much. I'm not sure if he started in the last two. Let me just check that. Anguissa. Yeah, Anguissa, so he played 45 against Leicester in 22, and then he came on for the last 7 minutes against West Ham, so I'll probably get someone like Smith Rowe for a similar price, to be honest with you. Nevis says, apparently Diaz missed City's training session tonight. Yeah, so some of the eagle-eyed guys on Twitter noticed that he wasn't in training, which is a bit worrying, especially for myself as a Diaz owner. Hopefully it's nothing, but yeah, what Pep said was it was a stomach bug and he's been ill. So hopefully nothing serious, and I hope he's back in time for the Spurs fixture, because they're going to need him for that. They're really going to need him for that fixture. MSK, are you planning to get Kane in? Yes, I am, definitely. If I don't wildcard, then I don't know how I'm going to actually afford it, to be honest with you. But if I do wildcard, yeah, he's absolutely going to be my wildcard draft, which I'll show you guys actually. Do you want to see my wildcard draft? It kind of works for 25 or 26, but I'll definitely show you guys my wildcard draft if you want to see it. D Production, what's your opinion about McCarthy and goalkeeper? I have Martinez and McCarthy. McCarthy will have double game week in 25, but I have a feeling that Martinez is better with one match than McCarthy with two lately. I'd say McCarthy still just edges it with two. Just from a mathematical point of view, he's likely to get more points, even if you know, Martinez has got a decent fixture. But yeah, you're right to be worried about McCarthy. So Forster has played 4 times this season, and he's kept 4 clean sheets, including today in the FA Cup 2-0 win against Wolves. So I think Hassan Hutel actually said, you know, he feels like he can rely on Forster now. So definitely something to keep an eye on, because McCarthy's not been great lately. He had a howler, I think it was in Gameweek 23, which led directly to a goal. So he's been a bit out of form. So there is a chance of Forster coming back in, but if I had to pick between the two, it'd still be McCarthy, just purely because of the double. And don't Villa have Leicester? I wouldn't say that's the best fixture. I wouldn't say that's the best fixture on paper. Southampton have obviously got Chelsea, but they've also got Leeds. Oh, my eye, sorry. Dejan, how we doing, mate? Is Lowton as nailed for Burnley as me? Yes, yeah, he is. So the only player competing for his spot is Bardsley, and he's not started since like game week 1, I think. So yeah, Lowton's spot is safe, I would say. Famous last words, but no, I think Lowton's a good pick. I think he's 4.5 now, might have gone up, but really cheap way into the Burnley defence. Ollie, wildcard draft is still something you can work towards, even if you don't actually wildcards. It's always good to know who you pick. Yeah, okay, I'll show you guys my wildcard draft in a second. MSK, if Calvert-Lewin is out for only 1 to 2 game weeks, would you keep him for game week 26? That's a good question. Probably not, because he's missing a double, and then it's Liverpool. So even if he's back, Liverpool's not a good fixture. So it's too long to not have him 3 games. Whereas, you know, if you bring in someone like Bamford, then Bamford has 3 games, and at that same time DCR has none. Again, purely from a mathematical perspective, you have to go someone like Bamford. But it does also depend on your bench, so that is a team-dependent question. You know, in my case, I can afford to bench him this week. I'm actually just going to roll my transfer. DCL's on the bench, and even if someone like Antonio was out, I could afford to start Sufal, but I think it would be silly to just leave him in your team when you could bring in someone like Bamford who's got a double and is going to be highly owned. Dylan, Justin said he probably could have walked off, but it looked worse than it is getting stretched off. Well, that's good news. I didn't know he said that. Yeah, it's always worrying when you see a player stretch it off, but if he's come out and said that he could have walked off, then that's good news. Maybe he's just playing it safe, you know. I think he said there was a pop in his knee, so he might have been worried that he'd done the tendons in his knee or something. Better safe than sorry in those situations, especially at that level they're playing at. The Flisk said, I'm trying to bring in Kane ASAP, just need to figure out the logistics for these double game weeks. Sneaky, rate my team not required. Happy to rate any teams. Bear with me, I'll just pull your team up. Have I got it right? Flisk? Decent score in Gameweek 23, 75 points. So you were saying, I've lost your message now. I think you said you were looking to get Kane in, right? So, you've got DCL and Wilson. Wilson's out for months, so he's got to make way for Kane if there is a way to get Kane at all. But there's not a clear way to get Kane here. What have you got in the bank? 1.5. How many transfers? Oh, it's not going to be down there, is it? How many free transfers have you got, Flisk? Obviously, Wilson's got to go. He's out for, I think it was 2 to 3 months, or 1 to 2 months. He's out for a long time anyway, so he's an absolute sell. I'm just trying to think how much you get if you downgraded DCL to someone like Brewster. Obviously, you're not going to want to play Brewster, but if it was just a short-term thing to get Kane in. So DCL's 7.7, so if you sold it for Brewster, that's 3. I guess you get about 3 depending on what you bought DCL for. So that'd be 4.5. There you go. So that would work, I think. DCL to Brewster, Wilson to Kane. That's probably the only way you can do it, because I wouldn't want to sell the likes of Salah, Bruno, Son. So if you want Kane, I think the only way is downgrading DCL to someone like Brewster, and then upgrading Wilson to Kane. Hopefully that helps. Happy to rate any other teams as well if you want to chuck your IDs in the chat. And then I'll get onto my wildcard team before I forget. So, let's have a look at Gary's team. 83 points for Gary in Gameweek 23. Massive score. Fair play. Another DCL owner. God, you did well with the Leeds double up in defence, didn't you? 1.2 in the bank, 2 free transfers. So you've only got 2 City players, so what stands out to me is that because City have got the double game week, so therefore you need to have 3 ideally. So I would look to sell one of those defenders to bring in a City defender, either Stones or Cancelo. So you could do Sufal to Stones. I'm not sure if you can stretch to Cancelo, right? Or can you? Yeah, you could probably just do Sufal to Stones or Cancelo. And then your second transfer, I don't think you need to use it. I'd roll the second. I suppose you could use the second on DCL to Bamford if DCL is out, injured, confirmed. We don't actually know yet, it's not been officially confirmed, but as mentioned at the top of the show, Ben Dinnery speculated that it's highly unlikely that he features in the double game week, so if that's anything to go by. DCL is out for the double, so those would be the 2 moves I'd make. Monkey Man, how we doing? Monkey Man absolutely tearing up this season. I'm not sure if you're still top of the FPL Focal League. It's getting competitive at the top there, but you're still 1,124th in the world. In nosebleed territory there. Oops. There you go. So Monkey Man, you're probably going to wildcard in 24 or 25. So if that's your plan, then really the only thing left to do is take a 1 week punt, right? Therefore, it would have to be something like Justin to Tarkowski, something like that. What have you got in the bank? 4.0. My God. Yeah, if you're playing to wildcard 24 or 25, I mean 24 is now, so I assume you mean 25, 26. You'd have to take a 1 week punt. You know, if you're that close to wildcarding, there's nothing else to it really. And if you're taking a 1 week punt, it's got to be a double Gameweek player, so therefore probably Justin to Tarkowski. That's all I can really think of. Have you got one transfer or two? If you got a second one, then I would probably bring in another double Gameweek player. You could just YOLO it and go Antonio to Barnes from Burnley up top, something like that, since he's got the double. Thank you everyone that has tuned in so far. Good turnout tonight. 23 watching. Penguin, Gary, Carl, Monkey Man, MSK, Ollie, Flisk. Appreciate you all being here. Anyone else that I've missed, sorry. Don't forget to like the video while you're here and sub to the channel if you're not. I will be back as always on Saturday for a deadline stream, 1 hour before the deadline. But I'm still planning to get through on this one. I'll do a few more rate my teams and then I'll get to my wildcard draft. Sorry I missed your message there, Carl. Let's have a look at your team. Hopefully I'll have the new microphone by the deadline stream as well. That'd be good. There we go. So Carl's team. I've just noticed that we've just blown past 8 million players in FPL. There's currently 8,204,000. So just gone over 8 million players, but I think it's a record already, which I guess is testament to how hard FPL is now. It's harder than ever. You know, getting 10k a few seasons ago when there was 3.5 mil, half as many as there are now, is totally different to getting top 10k now. And that was something I've mentioned in previous streams, that I'm trying to get top 10k, but it's really tough. I don't know if we'll do it. I've completely cocked up some chip usage as well and some transfers this season. Notably triple captain Salah. Anyway, Carl Morris's team. So, it didn't say any moves or free transfers. How many transfers have you got, Carl? Team looks really strong, so you'd have to start Stones. Bench Justin. Lingard, didn't see him snuck in there. Love the Lingard punt. Team looks in good shape, to be honest. You got 2.5 mil in the bank. The only thing that springs to mind here is selling probably Lingard for Rafinha for the double, or Gundogan. You could probably do both. Lingard to Gundogan and Madison to Rafinha, and then you're covered for the doubles. That's probably what I would do. You got to exploit the doubles as best you can, right? They're opportunities, so you got to try and take them if you can. And I'm still not convinced by Lingard, I hate to say. Oh, you do plan to offload Lingard? No free transfers left? You used it already? I would probably do Lingard to Gundogan for the double game week. Anyway, I will show you my wildcard draft. I'd like to know what everyone thinks of the draft. And I'll just run through some of the picks. So in goal, Johnston and Lloris. In defence, Target, Lewis, Stones, Diaz, Trent, Salah, Gundogan, Bruno, Grealish, Lookman, Kane, Adams, and Watkins up top. Now this is in no way final, but that's how it's currently looking. An early wildcard draft. I mentioned earlier that I think you have to triple up on Villa because they've got 2 further games yet to be rearranged, so 3 guaranteed doubles. Spurs are another team with 2 guaranteed doubles above and beyond Game Week 26, so I've got Kane and Lloris there for the coverage. Trent's a bit of a punt. There's a few differentials in here because you have to have differentials. You don't want to be too template. What do you guys think? I don't know when I would bench boost with this team either, but the thinking is that there's quite a few players here from teams that were going to have more than just the one double, so therefore it will present an opportunity to bench boost later if I do end up wildcarded in 26, which is currently what I'm leaning towards. I'm not sure about wildcarding in 25 because you don't really get to take advantage of the doubles in 25 unless you wildcard and bring them in too, but then Leeds, for example, don't double in 26, so it's a difficult one. I'm still not settled on what I'm going to do in terms of chip strategy. Dylan says Trent. Yeah, Trent's a bit of a punt, like I say. I mean, Liverpool's fixtures are really good, make no mistake, and Trent's looked better as of late. Better than Robbo even in recent games, but he's got Everton, Sheffield, Fulham, Wolves, Chelsea and Arsenal could be tough ones, but they're pretty decent fixtures for the rest of the season. And I do fancy Trent to find his stride soon. I mean, he might have even found it already. He's been looking really decent compared to Robbo in recent games. I think the City game was a bit of an anomaly because City are just too good this season, and Liverpool missing key players. Be interesting to see how they do once Kabak comes into centre back for them and Hendo pushes back up into midfield, where he's definitely missed at the moment. I think Liverpool are really missing Hendo in his natural centre midfield spot. Monkey Man, what's the reason for getting Lookman over someone like Saka? So there was no cash left in the bank basically, but one of the reasons was, if I just go back to the double game week ticker, so Fulham have of course the double in 26, but they're going to have other doubles above and beyond that, so I think it's actually this I was looking for. There we go. So Fulham have got the double against Spurs, yet to be rearranged as well. So my thinking it's just purely a bench boost option, a decent bench boost option whenever that does come around. But yeah, that's just how I'm leaning at the moment, and it's a very, very early wildcard draft to be honest with you. But that was my thinking there with Lookman. And yeah, you're right, Dylan. Notably, there's no Leeds there. Leeds obviously without a double. And this would only be a wildcard 26 team, so it wouldn't be used in 25 like this. It would be used in 26 because yeah, you're dead right. You want to have Leeds players for double game week 25, but they don't have a double game week 26. But to be honest with you, I don't think this is how the wildcard will end up. And whenever I do use it, I will have the wildcard team on stream, and I do always tweet the lineup as well. If anyone's not following me on Twitter, there's a link in the description to the Twitter, and likewise the Discord. Likewise a link to the double game week fixture ticker. So this is how it looks at the moment. As I say, if you want to have a look at this diagram, there is a link in the description, and this is how it is as it stands. So once we actually know the double game week 26 fixtures, I will make an updated version of this. And the first place I will post it is on the Discord. But yeah, this is the double game weeks that we know as it stands. So game week 24, Burnley with Palace away, Fulham at home, and then Fulham with Everton away, Burnley away. Everton with Fulham at home, Man City at home, and Man City with Tottenham at home, Everton away. So 4 teams with a double game week 24, and then in game week 25. Just 2 teams, which are Leeds and Southampton. Leeds have got Wolves away, Southampton at home, and Southampton have got Chelsea at home and Leeds away. But yeah, all eyes on double game week 26. That's the one that matters the most. That's the opportunity to fly up the ranks if you get it right. I got something like 124 back and get double game week 19 after preparing for several weeks, so hoping for a big score again if all goes to plan. But it's hard because we just don't know yet what the fixtures are. We just have an idea. Omar asks, is DCL playing? We don't know yet actually. Ben Dinnery says it's highly unlikely that he plays in the double. We've not had official news though, that's the problem. And it'll probably be tomorrow that we have the news regarding DCL. I have a horrible feeling it's going to be bad news that he is going to be out for maybe a few weeks. I hate to say, because I have DCL myself. I brought him in a couple of game weeks ago, because at the time we didn't know there was a double game week 24, but I thought it was very likely. It was something I talked about on stream. So I brought him in for that reason, and then the double game week 24 got announced, and it was all coming together, and yeah, he's picked up the injury, so really annoying that one. But that's the game we play. Pablo, how we doing, mate? Welcome to the stream. Monkey Man, what about Shaw over Trent? Yeah, Shaw's an interesting one, actually. I've completely overlooked him, to be honest with you. And he's actually putting up the best numbers of all defenders, so you're definitely right to suggest him. What puts me off with Shaw is there's still that small rotation risk. You know, Tellers is a very good option, a very good backup option. And they've also got Brandon Williams, but he's, you know, third in the pecking order now. And it just worries me slightly that, you know, Tellers might play one game and Shaw plays the other if they've got, you know, 2 games close together in a double game week. But yeah, I might be overthinking it. You know, Shaw could be one of those players that you pick him, he only sets you back about 5 mil, and he ends up being the one that hauls. And we end up looking back at the Kings of the game week with another defender on it. I've got an early look at the goal scorer and clean sheet odds, so let's have a look at that. So this is just for the first fixture of the double. So we haven't actually got the full odds. This isn't really the best way of looking at it, but it's just an early look at the goal scorer odds. By the deadline stream on Saturday, I'll have you know, the full odds for the double game week. But in terms of the goal scorer odds for the first game of the double, for those that do have 2, Giroud's actually on top. But again, this is assuming that he starts. Followed by Salah, 50% chance of a goal. Jesus, 47. Lacazette, Aubameyang, Werner. Some surprising names here, but Bruno's well up there, 44% chance of a goal. As is Gundogan, and this is why I'm leaning towards Gundogan goal scorers as Bruno. But he's got 2 games, of course. But then again, you would expect Gundogan to get less minutes per game. So, you know, we might end up only seeing Gundogan playing an extra 40 minutes over Bruno. So it's a tough one tough one to guess, to gauge. And the clean sheet odds, Chelsea on top, 54% chance of a clean sheet, followed by Man U, Man City, West Ham. Man City, this has got both of the games for the double, so Man City's first game is 47% chance, second game is 42.5% chance. Burnley, their second game is 34% chance, and their first game is 28% chance. So I'm hoping for 2 Burnley clean sheets. We'll have to wait and see. But I picked up Ben Mee last game week, so I'm hoping he'll come in good. Anyone got any Burnley defenders? Nick Pope, luckily, is absolutely fine. I think there was a worry that he had picked up an injury, but he looks like he's fine. Bloody hell, it's been an hour already. Didn't realise we've been streaming for an hour. I think I've been rambling long enough. It's been a really good stream again. Good to be back after a while out since the last stream. Again, thank you everyone who has tuned into the stream so far. Hayden, Carl, Monkey Man, Pablo, anyone else that I've missed. Good to have you all here. I'm going to call it a night there. Thank you everyone who has tuned in. I will be back on Saturday morning, 1 hour before the deadline. So don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you're not. And I will see you guys on the deadline stream. Cheers guys.